here. We can go ahead and start. Yes, Prabhu, thank you. So, Gita Pravaha. What did we hear so far? We heard about the significance of Gita. And after that, the first chapter of Gita. Today, we are going to enter into the, we heard about half of the second chapter of the Gita also. Now we will hear the rest of the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So, before we go to the PowerPoint, I wanted to give this analogy so we will be able to appreciate better what Bhagavad Gita is giving to us. See, when we hear Chaitanya Charitamrita is a postgraduate study. Yeah, we hear that, right? Chaitanya Charitamrita is like that. It is like this. Chaitanya Charitamrita is like in a beautiful temple room, beautifully decorated deities, and then the devotees, we just sing, chant, and dance happily. Chaitanya Charitamrita is like that. Chant and dance happily in the temple room. The subject matter is like that for Chaitanya Charitamrita. Means it sounds so wonderful when we hear about Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and when we hear and see the humility of the Lord, and when we hear the dependence of Srivas Thakura, like that, it is very distinct to us, but it is very mesmerizing to us. It's very beautiful. We only wish we could understand more about that and get a little bit of it, like that. So Chaitanya Charitamrita is like that, up there, pure devotion in action. That's Chaitanya Charitamrita. So if Chaitanya Charitamrita is like a beautiful temple room, this Bhagavad Gita is like bricks. Because to build a temple room, we need the bricks first. How to even get to that platform of pure devotion? Bhagavad Gita gives us the bricks, fundamentals. Teaches us about how to do the service, what these modes are, and how these modes can be overcome, like that. So it gives the bricks, building blocks for temple room of pure devotion. If Bhagavad Gita is giving the bricks, Srimad Bhagavatam is giving us the cement. That cement is like, all these pure devotees praying for the Sangha of pure devotees. All the prayers of pure devotees in Srimad Bhagavatam is like cement, anchoring to sadhus, gurus. Yeah. So Srimad Bhagavatam gives us the cement. When Bhagavad Gita is saying how to do Sharanagati, in Srimad Bhagavatam, every pure devotee there, they were doing Sharanagati. Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Lord has thought, I asked everybody to do Sharanagati in Bhagavad Gita. Maybe they did not get it. And in the Bhagavatam, all the pure devotees, they were also saying and they were showing how to do Sharanagati. Maybe they didn't get it yet. So I will show them how to do Sharanagati. When Lord thinks like that, then he comes as Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and that is Chaitanya Charitamrita. So different subject matter of Sharanagati. Here it is told by the Lord. Here it is done by the pure devotees. Here it is done by the Lord himself in Chaitanya Charitamrita, like that. So if Bhagavad Gita is like bricks, Srimad Bhagavatam gives the cement, and Chaitanya Charitamrita is that bricks and cement put together into a beautiful temple room. Krishna Katha, Krishna Nama is present in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita also. Wherever Krishna Katha is, Krishna Nama is there. So with the bricks that we get from Bhagavad Gita, with the cement that we get from Srimad Bhagavatam, a beautiful temple room of Chaitanya Charitamrita is well understood, is built. It means well understood. We get closer to the pure devotion that is being described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And that's how the holy name is also revealed, like that. Krishna Nama Katha is present in Gita also, in Srimad Bhagavatam also, but when it comes to Chaitanya Charitamrita, then that's where, Golokera Premadana and Taramadya Sarvasreshta Nama Sankirtana, Niraparada Nama Lele Payadim Premadana. That's all in Chaitanya Charitamrita. When we have this bricks and cement to build that beautiful temple room, by that time the Harinam reveals himself. So that is the connection between Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita in terms of our understanding and appreciation of the subject matter and realizations also. So that's where this Bhagavad Gita fits in. We get all the important essential blocks to build the temple. Okay, so the whole Bhagavad Gita is very helpful for us. We have to collect those bricks, building blocks, like that. So now coming to Bhagavad Gita, in the first chapter, Arjuna gave his reasons of why he doesn't want to fight. And in the second chapter, he submits himself, surrenders to Lord Krishna. And then Lord Krishna gives the counter reasons to whatever Arjuna said. And then he states why Arjuna should fight. So it was decided by Lord Krishna's counter reasons. It was clear that Arjuna has to fight. And so fighting, doing duty. Arjuna's doing his duty as Kshatriya, that is clear, that Arjuna has to do his duty. And second thing after that is, okay, how this duty needs to be done. Nishkama Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is doing the duty. Nishkama is without a desire inside, do your duty outside. That is Nishkama Karma Yoga, right? And in short, we call that as Karma Yoga or Buddhi Yoga. Everything the same. That point is clear. Now, today what we are going to discuss is, what is the principle of Nishkama Karma Yoga? And second thing is, what is Nishkama Karma Yoga? Why should one do Nishkama Karma Yoga? And what is the internal disposition of a person doing Nishkama Karma Yoga? These are the 4 things that we will hear today. Okay, so first one, we'll go to the slides now. So, yeah, we have covered this. I will let you take a look at this because we have covered all this. Arjuna submits to Lord Krishna and Lord Krishna instructs. Then Lord Krishna speaks on the science of soul. After giving, he spoke on the science of soul as a counter reason for Arjuna's reason not to fight based on compassion. So that was where that's where we heard the science of the soul, and the rest of the reasons were also answered by Lord Krishna. And now Nishkama Karma Yoga. Okay, so the first question is, what is the principle behind Nishkama Karma Yoga? I'm going to change it to slideshow. Current slide. Yes. Okay. So what is the principle of this Nishkama Karma Yoga. Nishkama Karma Yoga is do the duty for the duty's sake. That's the principle of Nishkama Karma Yoga. Do it because it's your duty. And the other principle is do it as an offering to Vishnu. These two are enumerated. Lord Krishna says in the second chapter, do it because it's your duty. But that is more a theory part. Do it because of your duty is just based on sattva. It is good theory, but when it comes to practice, we are surrounded by tamoguna and rajoguna also. So only sattva, to practice only sattva is not possible because tamoguna and rajoguna will come and hit us. So theoretically, it sounds good saying that do it because it's your duty. So Lord Krishna says that. But when he comes to the third chapter, he says, do your duty as an offering to Lord Vishnu. So we will understand this Nishkama Karma Yoga on this second principle. Do the duty as an offering to Vishnu. Because this second principle is more sustainable and more practical to do. Because when we are doing our duty as an offering to the Lord, then when the tamoguna and rajoguna, when the modes hit us, because we are doing it as an offering to the Lord and we are anchoring to bhakti and Lord, we will be able to sustain and go beyond the modes. So that's why, though Nishkama Karma Yoga is presented in two ways, the second one, which is do it as an offering to Lord Vishnu, is more sustainable and more recommended. This is how second chapter moves to third chapter also. In the second chapter, Lord Krishna says, just do it as a duty. But later on, he says that do it as an offering to Lord Vishnu. That's why the rest of the discussion that we are going to hear will be based on this second principle, that doing the duty as an offering to the Lord. Okay. So that is the principle of Nishkama Karma Yoga. Okay. Understood. Next point. Okay, we understand the principle now. And what exactly is Nishkama Karma Yoga? There are about 4 or 5 points that we will hear. And then after that, we will hear why to do Nishkama Karma Yoga. Okay. So now, understanding what is Nishkama Karma Yoga. It means like this. Okay. This Nishkama Karma Yoga is also called Bhakti Yoga. Because when you are doing it as an offering to Vishnu or Krishna, it becomes Bhakti Yoga. So this is Sadhana Bhakti. So we will be hearing about Sadhana Bhakti now. And this is also helpful as a guideline for Naimittika Dharma. In other words, to do our duty, our responsibility. The Naimittika Dharma of a student is to study. Teacher is to teach. Parent is to take care of. Like that. So we will understand the rest of the knowledge based on to see how this will be helpful to do our duty, our responsibility, which is Naimittika Dharma. Also, how is this knowledge helpful for our sadhana bhakti? What are the building blocks, bricks that are available here? That is what we are going to hear now. Okay. So, we will stress more on the sadhana bhakti part. And doing it as a duty will be automatically covered anyway. Okay. So what is Nishkama Karma Yoga or Karma Yoga or Sadhana Bhakti? Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kurunandana bahushaka hi anantascha buddhayo vyavasayinam. Sadhana bhakti, or doing our duty, first thing is we have to be clear in our focus, one-pointed focus. Vyavasayatmika buddhi. Ekeha kurunandana. When the focus is one-pointed, then the determination is directed. It's like this. Let's take the example of Srila Prabhupada. This is Srila Prabhupada's shloka actually. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kurunandana. Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport how this particular verse, as explained by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura in his purport, has made his vision and goal pretty clear, and he became determined. So what happened? Srila Prabhupada, he has received this instruction from his Gurudev to go to Western countries and preach, right? So that instruction Srila Prabhupada received many years ago when he was like a grihastha, like that. And he was preparing. It was there in the back of the mind for Srila Prabhupada, and he was preparing towards that over the years. But it really got to the point of, to an intensified point. When he read this Tika, explanation by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, then Prabhupada explains, that's when my focus was clear. I mean, it's single pointed that I have to go to West. And that's it. So that was a one point focus. And since then, Srila Prabhupada's efforts and all the efforts and thoughts were how to go to West. Do I have to fly? Can I fly? Or do I have to go in the ship? And how do I get the money for that? So let's bring the Back to Godhead magazine, like that. So his Prabhupada's determination was directed to his single-pointed focus of going to West. So when the focus is single-pointed, then the determination is gathered and directed towards that. In Bhakti, for us, when our focus is also single point, one-pointed, why are we doing this Bhakti? For love of Godhead, okay? That may not be reachable right away, but the point is clear, the focus is clear. Then, for the love of Godhead, it doesn't happen overnight. We have to get over these modes. So we have to go towards Sattva. And then we will see that we will need a very stable anchor within to go through this journey. And then we also will see that a lot of molding has to happen. And then we will hold on to the anchor and we let the molding happen. And that's how we go towards Sattva and then past Sattva. So all this determination is directed because we dropped the pin there. Love of Godhead. Because when we have love of Godhead, then we go back to Godhead. Because Vraja is land of love. So love of Godhead is going back to Godhead. So like that. So as precise as our focus is, the determination will be gathered and directed in that direction. Okay, that's first point. So let the focus be single pointed. The second one is, now when we are clear, like Srila Prabhupada, once he's clear that he has to go towards West, then he started working towards that. Actually, for Srila Prabhupada, there's no sense gratification. And so the example for us is, see, the love of Godhead, right? As we go towards that, we have to go towards Sattva, right? Then, for us, as we go towards our focus, there can be a lot of distractions. Lot of distractions can come. Distractions are more based on the sense gratification. As Lord Krishna is saying, wanting sense gratification means no resolute determination. Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam tayapahrata chetasam. Vyavasayatmika buddhihi ekeha vyavasayatmika buddhihi samadhau na vidhiyate. When there is bhogaishwarya prasaktanam, when there is tendency to gratify the senses, when we say senses, it's not just eating, watching something outside. Mind is the biggest sense. So when we want to gratify the mind, or when we want to gratify the senses, then our determination will not be resolute. Our determination is not resolute. So in other words, if we are wanting sense gratification, it means we don't have resolute determination. Yeah. So the second point is, after setting the goal or specific goal or desire, single pointed focus. Second thing is no distraction. Yeah. And Lord Krishna says, after he says, say if somebody goes after sense gratification, how can there be determination resolute? Lord Krishna says that. And immediately he says, Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nishtraigunya Bhavarjuna Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvasto Niryogakshemamatmavan. Oh Arjuna, so get over with sense gratification. Traigunya Vishaya Veda. In the Vedas, about these three modes, karma kanda, all those rituals are explained. All that is for sense gratification. So one has to get over this sense gratification for their determination to be resolute. So the third point is, no distraction means get over sense gratification. Okay. And, okay, after that, we have the single pointed focus now. And we are trying to get over the sense gratification. Now, we start to go towards the goal, right? We start to do the bhakti, go towards the service. That's how we get, right? The love of Godhead is internal and external service. So start working. Now, all that you have in your court is only to work. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma palaheturbhur ma te sangosva karmani. All you can do is do your duty. All you can do is do your service. And that's all. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhi asiddhayo samo bhutva samatvam yoga yuchyate. You have set your goal. Now continue to do your service. Continue to do your duty. Ma karma palaheturbur. Don't get caught up in the net of results. Don't think about the results. Just keep doing the service. Keep doing the duty. Don't think about whether you can do it or not. Whether people will like it or not. Whether you will like it or not. Whether you will be recognized.
Sorry
Yes.
to cut you short, Mataji.
Sorry,
You are sharing the screen. Maybe you just shared the file for us, but you're on a different screen. It looks like the slides are not moving for us.
So what is Nishkama Karma Yoga?
First slide, we are on the first slide. There are two slides. What is Nishkama Karma Yoga?
Right.
One with question mark, one with the dots, right? Yeah.
Right, Prabhu. Yeah, but this is the first question mark. Yes, that's all. This is the one.
Yeah, you shared the full screen slideshow, but it didn't happen for us.
This one is with the dotted. Can you see it?
No.
The dotted one?
No.
Okay.
Maybe that's what you probably shared the file instead of entire screen. That's why we couldn't see.
Let me try this, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Okay, let me share this one. And then
So instead of selecting the file, Mataji, you need to share your screen. Then everything will have.
is this good now?
Can you move back up and down? Yeah, now
Yes,
it is
this is
working.
good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you,
you.
Mataji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And slideshow. Oh, right. Yeah. So yeah, you just all you have is you just do your duty. You just do your service. Don't think about if you are going to get the results as you expected or not. If you're going to fail or pass, or if you're going to be recognized or not. Like that. Just do your service. And if it's a duty, just do your duty. As a student, just prepare for the exam. As a parent, just do your duty. So basically, you have the right only to do your duty. You have the right only to do your service. Don't get caught up in the network of results. Yeah. And samatvam yoga yuchyate. Siddhi asiddhiyo samo bhutva. Samatvam yoga yuchyate. As you continue to do your service, the duty, success may come or failure may come. Do not be bothered. Stay equanimous. Siddhi asiddhiyo samo bhutva. Samatvam yoga yuchyate. Oh, this is sadhana bhakti. This is how we get over the anartha nivritti. And दूरेण हि अवरं कर्म बुद्धियोगात् धनञ्जय बुद्धौ शरणम् अन्विच्छ कृपणाफलहेतव. Kripanapalahetava means you are really very miser and you want to enjoy the fruit of work. Kripanapalahetava. Lord Krishna is saying it in such a way, how miserly are you? You're thinking about the fruit of the work. You're thinking about the result. And you're thinking about how to enjoy the success. Enjoying the success is enjoying the fruit. And you're thinking about how you're going to feel so bad if you fail. That is also tasting the fruit. Tasting means enjoyment is also tasting, distress is also tasting. When the result is success, you're tasting enjoyment. When the result is failure, you're tasting distress. So Lord Krishna is so beautifully saying, are you miserly? Why do you want to taste the fruits? Either the success or failure. Just durena hi avaram karma. Buddhi yoga dhananjaya. So with this buddhi yoga, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, just continue with your duty, continue with your service. Do not be bothered about the result. And stay equanimous with whatever the fruit is. After that, so this is about Nishkama Karma Yoga. What is Nishkama Karma Yoga? Means how to do the service, how to do the duty. First, Prabhu, can't you see now?
No, Mataji.
I am surprised, Prabhu.
Mataji, you please unshare and share and don't click on slideshow, Mataji. Just go with that.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Let's do that. Can you see, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji, we could see now. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll go ahead with this then. Thank you. Yeah. So, yeah. How to do sadhana bhakti. How to do our duty. These are the points that we have heard so far. The first one was, what is the purpose or principle? That is offering to the Lord. I am doing this service as an offering to Guru and Krishna. That's what Srila Prabhupada did. Coming to the west was his offering to Guru and Krishna. So purpose is, this is an offering to Guru and Krishna. Second thing is focus, single-pointed focus. Third, do not get distracted. Distraction is because of sense gratification. Okay. Fourth one is, now all you can do is work. Work only. Karmani eva adhikaraste. Your right is only on the work. And the fifth one is, do not be bothered by the result. And the last one is keep working. Keep working is also important. So this is how we do our service in sadhana bhakti. This is how we do our duty. Okay. And that is how we do the service or duty. That's Nishkama Karma Yoga. Why do we do that? Why do we do that? There are many reasons. This is only the start of the reasons of why we should do Buddhi Yoga like this, or Bhakti Yoga. Because with this Buddhi Yoga, when we do Bhakti in a Nishkama Karma Yoga way, with this Bhakti Yoga, we will get over the birth and death cycle, and there will be no reactions. Why like that? No reactions. One gets rid of both good and bad reactions in this life. Yoga, karma, kaushalam. Because purification is happening in sadhana bhakti. Purification is happening. And as the purification happens, as we get closer to Krishna, we are in bhakti cycle. It means we are out of the birth and death cycle. And this is all because we are doing it for the Lord, because Krishna is the object here. That's why we are coming over the birth and death cycle. And that's why we are getting over all our previous reactions, both good and bad. These are two reasons. And of course, Achalam Buddhim, intelligence will be fixed also. So these are the two reasons that are enumerated in the second chapter, and more reasons will come in the third chapter. So we have heard about how to do the service, how to do Nishkama Karma Yoga, and why to do Nishkama Karma Yoga. And now, what is our internal disposition? When we do sadhana bhakti, what should be our internal disposition? How should we be inside to do our sadhana bhakti outside? We should be sthita prajna inside. What is sthita prajna? Sthita is steady, prajna is intelligence. When the intelligence is fixed in self-realization, it means here. Can you see the slide, Prabhu? Are you able to see? Yeah?
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Yeah, good. Thank you. So when the intelligence is fixed here in self-realization, in sadhana bhakti, knowing ourselves, as we move towards Krishna, we will be knowing ourselves too. So when the intelligence is fixed like that in self-realization or devotion, then the mind is no longer disturbed. This is very important, dear devotees. Agitation is because of the mind. When our intelligence is not big, the mind can shake us up. So we have to get our intelligence big and strong so the mind doesn't shake us up. So when the intelligence is fixed, then the mind does not disturb us anymore. And in this way, one will attain divine consciousness. And this is called Jivan Mukta. Jivan Mukta means we are present in the body, but not present in the body. Liberated while present in the body. All the pure devotees are Jivan Muktas. They're liberated from the modes while they're still present in the body. So this is Sthita Prajna. Intelligence is fixed in devotion, so the mind no longer disturb us. That's Sthita Prajna. So now Arjuna is asking these questions to Lord Krishna. Oh, this is wonderful, Krishna. You said, yes, I have to do my duty. Okay, it is clear. And you told me that I have to simply do my duty and I cannot be attached to the results. Yeah, that point is clear too. But I have this question, Krishna. When somebody is fixed in their duty, doing their Nishkama Karma Yoga, oh, Lord Krishna says, you have to be Sthita Prajna inside to do your Nishkama Karma Yoga outside. Then Arjuna asks, can you tell me about the symptoms of a person who is Sthita Prajna? Can you tell me how he speaks, how he sits, how he walks? What are his qualities? What is the destination? Those are the questions of Arjuna. So to those questions, Lord Krishna is answering now. What are the symptoms of Sthita Prajna? It means in our sadhana bhakti, what are the symptoms of a sadhaka? Sadhaka in sadhana bhakti. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogathan atmani evatmana tushtaha sthita prajnas taduchyate. In sadhana bhakti, atmani evatmana tushtaha prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogata. He gave up all the material desires. Sarvan kaman prajahati. Gave up all the material desires. And atmani evatmana tushtaha. He is very much satisfied within himself. And that person is Sthita Prajna. Then we are thinking, oh my goodness, I'm just starting sadhana bhakti. This already sounds like this is Siddha Bhakti. Atmani evatmana tushta. He is satisfied in himself. How to understand this for the sadhana bhakti? For us, in the beginning, in the sadhana bhakti, our satisfaction is that we got this Bhakti Lata Bija from Guru and Krishna. That is our satisfaction in the beginning. That is our satisfaction in the beginning. We are not in sattva yet to even experience steady happiness, steady peace, what to speak of pure devotion and bliss. We are not there yet. But in the beginning, in the sadhana bhakti, there is one thing that we can always be satisfied about, always be grateful about, that we received this Bhakti Lata Bija from Guru and Krishna. Oh, Prabhupada, Gurujana, at least you gave us this bhakti. At least the process have started. That satisfaction should be there. That should be there. Because this satisfaction of the mind has, when the mind is in sattva, one of the characteristics of the mind in sattva is satisfaction. So this point is important for us, dear devotees. Even if it is one day after initiation, we have a reason to be satisfied. Oh, at least I am in the shelter now. At least I am in the parampara now. Important. Okay. So when we are satisfied like that, oh, at least I'm given this Bhakti Lata Bija. Then with that satisfaction, whatever material desires are there, slowly over a period of time, then we will, with the process of sadhana bhakti that we are doing, they will go away slowly. Nothing happens overnight. So that is for us, for the sadhakas. And how does he speak? And how does he speak? How does he restrain the senses? These two things. How does he speak is how does he respond to the dualities? After we take up sadhana bhakti, another nivritti will be there. That is how the journey goes, right? Other bhajana kriya, anartha nivritti. So how do we respond to the dualities? Dukkeshu anudvignamanaha, sukeshu vigataspruha, vitaragabhayakrodha, stitadhir muniruchyate. Okay. Here we have a reason to be satisfied. Oh, at least I'm given this Bhakti Lata by Guru and Krishna. Now I have this service and I have this instruction. I am satisfied. At least I have it. How much am I able to understand it, realize it, do it, will happen in the future. But at least I have this. I have this Harinama, I have this instruction, and I have this service. Satisfied. So now, with that, we continue. As we continue with our bhajan, the Harinam, as we continue with the seva in light of the instruction, the threefold miseries will come because this is Dukkhalayam. This is the world of threefold miseries. It will come. Mind is going to say what it has to say. Sankalpa, Vikalpa. Body will have to say what it has to say. Yeah. And the people around, the interactions will happen, and the way we receive it will depend upon our modes. So all these tapatrayas will be there, but undisturbed. Dukkeshu anudvigna manaha. When the dukkha comes, when the distress comes, do not have anudvigna. Do not be agitated within. Sukeshu vigata spruha. When the victory comes, do not be puffed up. Do not be elated. Vitaraga bhaya krodha. Stitadhir muniruchyate. Vita raga. There is no raga, there is no bhaya, there is no krodha. Raga is attachment. Bhaya is fear. Krodha is anger. How can this all be possible in sadhana bhakti? No raga, no bhaya, no krodha. When we are attached, when we are satisfied and attached to the service and the process of devotion that is given to us, holding on to that, we will try to stay undisturbed when the miseries come. Miseries are because of the mind in the anartha nivritti, right? So in light of what we hear from the Shastra, we hold on to Sadhu, Shastra and Guru. And in that way, we stay undisturbed when the miseries hit us, when the moods hit us. And in the light of Shastra, we understand that Sukha and Dukkha will come and go. So we don't get disturbed and we don't get elated when there is happiness. As we get ourselves more attached to the Nama and to the Seva and to the instruction that is given to us, that's where Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha happens. That's how we get detached to any attachments outside, raga from outside. Yeah, as we do our service, when our focus is only to do our service as an offering to Guru and Krishna, then we get detached to the result of the services and the responses of the services, failures or criticisms. Yeah. So there is no attachment to the result. We don't look for recognition. Then there is no bhaya. When there is no expectation for anything from outside, where is the fear that we don't get what we want from outside? We are not even wanting anything from outside. So then there is no fear at all, because we are not even expecting anything from outside. And there will be no krodha. There is no anger, because anger is when we don't get what we want. When we are not even expecting anything, where will be the anger? Fear is an anxiety that we may not get what we want. When we are not expecting anything, where will be the fear? And how can we not expect anything from outside? How can we get that detachment outside? By getting attached to the seva, to the nama, to the instruction that is given inside. This is the process of anardana vritti, sadhana bhakti, to increase our attachment like that internally. So the detachment will naturally come for things externally. So in this way, yah sarvatra anabhisnehas tattat prapya shubhashubham na abhinandanti na dveshti tasya prajna pratishtitaha. Tasya prajna pratishtita. Yah sarvatra anabhisnehas. So in this way, when the devotee is getting more fixed and anchored inside like that, wherever the devotee may be, anywhere, that devotee will be unaffected. Unaffected, and tattat prapya shubhashubham. Whatever that may come upon on the devotee, shubham or ashubham, auspicious or inauspiciousness, whatever may fall upon the devotee is not affected. Wherever he might be, wherever she might be. Na abhinandanti na dveshti. Then this devotee has no inclination to praise or despise whatever is happening to him or her. These are all natural things that would happen when we start to get detached outside because of our increasing attachment inside. There is no inclination to pass on any comment or to give an explanation to what is happening to us, even auspicious or inauspicious. There is no inclination to convince anybody, to explain anybody, to prove ourselves. There's no inclination. Yeah, like that. This is how they respond to the dualities. Okay. For the next question, how do the yogi sit? It means, how does the devotee restrain the senses? Yada samharate chayam kurmo angani eva sarvashah indriyani indriyarthebhyas tasya prajna pratishtitaha. Yada samharate chayam kurmo angani eva sarvasah. Like the tortoise withdraws all its limbs when it senses insecurity, the devotee also withdraws his attention when he senses that his bhakti is going to be affected. So in devotee withdraws himself or herself from unfavorable circumstances to save their bhakti lata. So staying away from anything that is unfavorable association, unfavorable hearing, unfavorable doing. So withdrawing from anything that is unfavorable to bhakti, that's what? Withdrawing the senses from anything that is unfavorable to bhakti. When we say withdrawing the senses, dear devotees, we may think like, okay, no eating outside in the restaurant, only prasadam. And then no watching any movies. Just watch Krishna Katha, Krishna related movies. We think only that. But we tend to forget about the mind. Withdraw the mind from prajalpa. That doesn't help bhakti. So withdrawing the mind also is one of the withdrawing of the senses. Yeah. So we withdraw the senses like that from anything that is unfavorable to bhakti. Then in this way, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinah. Rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina. By experiencing the higher taste, devotee will get out of the lower taste. Say if we have to eat outside in the restaurant, food not offered to Krishna, or watching a movie, pakka filled with modes, there is nothing about Krishna there. Or we're in the midst of the people and there's a lot of gossip going on. This might be going on, right? But the devotees have no inclinations to indulge in it because they're experiencing a higher taste within. Unless one experiences a higher taste within, it is hard not to indulge in these things when the senses draws outside. Rasavarjam rasopyasya. We may not be watching the movie, or we may not be eating outside, which is not prasadam, but we still have the inclination to do it. Niraharasya dehina rasavarjam rasopyasya. The inclination will be there. Even though the inclination is there, param drishtva nivartate. When we are anchoring to the higher taste, then we will stay away from this sense gratification. So the focus here is to anchor to the higher taste. Unless we are anchoring to the higher taste, it is difficult to overcome the lower taste. That's why Tani sarvani samyamya yukta sita matparaha vashehi yasyendriyani tasya prajna pratishtitaha. Tani sarvani samyamya yukta sita matpara. That is why yukta asita matpara. Connect to me. Connect to me from within for the higher taste. That is how you can get disconnected from the lower tastes around. So this sense control is possible by connecting to Lord Krishna from within, by devotion, by practicing devotion. So our focus is not so much on the sense control. Our focus is more on what to do for Krishna, how to do my devotion to Krishna. So when our focus is more on our devotion to Krishna, then the sense control will automatically happen slowly over a period of time. So much about this sense control, right? About the senses and about the mind. Because these are the entangling things for us in this material world. And this is how, step by step, Lord Krishna is teaching that you have to withdraw the senses. Whenever there is something unfavorable to bhakti, then you withdraw, you don't participate. And you have to anchor to me from within. Then you will be able to get the sense control and detachment from outside. And in this context, Lord Krishna is saying the power of contemplation, how the senses drag us, how the senses drag us. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshopajayate sangat sanjayate kama kamat krodho bhijayate krodhat bhavati sammoha sammohat smriti vibramaha smriti bhramso buddhinasho buddhinashat pranashyati. This is the fall down cascade. When we start thinking about something, this is a fall down cascade for, especially this is, in the common regular world, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a fall down cascade. So any attachment to a person outside or any attachment to a thing outside, I want this best of the cars. I want this best of the mansion, and I want this person. So when our thinking is fixed on that person or on that thing, then the attachment develops. Attachment develops so strong that we will be angry. If we see that we may not be able to get that thing or person, we will get really angry or depressed. And this anger or depression will eat away our intelligence. The intelligence will not be there anymore. In the anger and in the depression, there is no more intelligence. And this is how we fall down. So this is the power of contemplation. This is the power of thinking. So it is very important to see where our thought is going, dear devotees. Savai mana Krishna padaravindayo. Is our thought going on Krishna? If the thought is going on somebody else because of something else, good or bad, or if the thought is going on something else, and then automatically the attachment will go to that person or to that thing, and the whole cascade will be there. Where is Krishna here? Nowhere, because the thought is not on Krishna. So this is the power of thought or contemplation. So when we are doing bhakti, we have to be vigilant where our thought is going, where our thought is being fixed, because that decides everything here. And if we are having Krishna here in the contemplation, in the thought, we will get detached from the world. We will have lust. We have increased attachment for Krishna. The anger goes away, the delusion goes away, and the polluted intelligence goes away. Our revival of the memory with the relationship of Krishna comes, and we go back to Godhead. The cascade just reverses for good when Krishna is in the contemplation. Yeah. So here the context is how it is important to have sense control. How it is important to have sense control. If we don't have sense control, then there will be no sthita prajna. We heard that, right? Sense control, sense gratification means no resolute determination. This is important to have sense control. But we already heard that is how do we get that? By anchoring to Krishna, by increasing our devotion. And then we will get detachment to the sense objects. And then the next one. So far we heard about the sense control. How to get the sense control, that is by internally attaching to Krishna. We also heard about what happens if we don't do the sense control. Now the next topic is, okay, we have these senses, we have this mind, we have these 5 senses. We are controlling. We are not letting it go where it should not go. Then how to engage these senses? Okay, don't see that, don't eat that, don't talk that. That don't is okay, right? Don't eat that because it's not prasadam. And don't talk about that because that's not conducive to bhakti, right? Don't think about that because it doesn't help me. All those are don'ts, restraints. Then what are do's? Then how do I engage these senses? Then what do I talk? What do I do? What do I see? What do I eat? What do I think? That's sense engagement. Ragadvesha vimuktaistu vishayan indriyascharan atmavashair videyatma prasadam adhigacchati. This is why we have regulatory principles, dear devotees. This is how the mercy comes. When we take Diksha, the 4 regulative principles, and chant 16 rounds every day. Why like that? Prasadam adhigacchati. It draws the mercy. One can get prasadam, mercy. By doing what? By this regulate. Ragadvesha vimuktestu vishayan indriyascharan atmavashair videyatma. This is all contained in the regulative principles that are given to us. Ragadvesha vimukta vishayan indriyascharan. Whatever raga, whatever attachment, and whatever likings and dislikings that we had in the past, we give them away. Atma Vashair Videyatma. Atma Vashair is self-control. Videyatma is freedom within regulative principles. It means, okay, you eat. Atma Vashair, self-control, means you eat prasadam that is offered to Krishna. That is self-control, right? Videyatma, there is freedom there. Yeah, now that you have offered to Krishna, you eat whatever you want, any menu you like. So there is freedom there within the regulative principles. So why all this? We have withdrawn the senses. We are observing the don'ts. And now we are observing the do's of, okay, offer it to Krishna. And then within the regulative principles that we have, you can have the freedom. You can hear the music that takes you to Krishna. You can still hear the music. If you like music, you may not hear the music that can pull you towards material world, but you can still hear the music, hear something that takes you closer to Krishna, eat something that takes you closer to Krishna, see something that takes you closer to Krishna. This is sadhana bhakti. This is about regulative principles. Why? Though we like to do something else that we have done in the past, because we are in sadhana bhakti, we are doing everything towards Krishna. What happens when we do like that? Prasadam adhigacchati. The mercy is given. Mercy is given to us. And this is the reason, because the mercy is given to us as we are doing sadhana bhakti, what happens? Prasade sarva dukkhanam hanir asyopajayate prasanna chetaso hi asu buddhi paryavatishtate. Very beautiful, dear devotees. Because of the mercy that we are getting, sarva dukkhanam hanir asyopajayate. All the distress is being mitigated. Prasanna chetasohi. Peace. We will start feeling more peaceful. And buddhi parivatishtate. Then the intelligence also blossoms. All this is because of the regulative principles that we are following, the bhakti process that we are following, the sadhana bhakti that we are following. Because of that, the mercy is coming. And because of the mercy, we will start to feel these effects. The distress is going away, and more peace is coming, and the intelligence is blossoming, getting more steadier, like that. And after that, Lord Krishna, he says this, do we really have to do that? Is it needed that everybody takes up the bhakti, everybody do the sadhana bhakti? Is it really needed? Does every person need to do this? Nasti buddhir ayuktasya, nachaya yuktasya bhavana, nacha bhava yataha shantir, ashantasya kutas sukham, nasti buddhir ayuktasya, nacha ayuktasya bhavana. If your intelligence is not placed in me, how will your mind come to me? Your bhavana, your mind come to me. Nacha bhavaya shantir. If your mind is not coming to me, where is the peace? And if there is no peace, where is the happiness? Lord Krishna is saying that. So, if somebody is looking for peace and happiness, we know where the intelligence and mind needs to be placed. Lord Krishna is saying that. So in this way, apuryamanam achalam pratishtam samudramapaha pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti na kama kami. In this way, the devotee Apuryamanam achalam pratishtam. The devotee becomes very steady, like an ocean. Samudram. Samudram apaha pravishanti yatvet. Even though the rivers, agitating rivers are coming and merging into the ocean will continue to remain steady. Ocean is not agitated. In this way, the devotee, tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti na kama kami. Even though the waves of modes hit the devotee in the form of rivers, still the devotee is unagitated, remains agitated. Apuryamanam achalam pratishtam. In this way, a sadhaka slowly comes to this stage of steadiness, where the modes might be hitting. The mind, sankalpa, vikalpa, this mind, and the sense, pulling and pushing of all these senses, 5 senses and the mind. They may be causing agitation and merging into the ocean. But the devotee remains like an ocean. Achalam pratishta. That's the stage of Nishta. Yeah. And this is the last slide. So Arjuna is asking. Now the last question is, oh, yes, I have heard about how the devotee sits, stands, walks, all that. What are the qualities and destination? The quality, by this time, we know, Vihaya kamanya sarvan pumams charati nishpriham nirmamo nirahankaraha sashanti madigachati. The devotee is Vihaya kamanya sarvan pumams charati nishpriha. The devotee is now pumams charati nishpriha, is not so very conscious about the externals now. Vihaya kaman, there are no desires that pulls the devotee to externally. Nirmamo nirahankaraha. He's devoid of false ego, I-ness and minus, me and minus. Sashanti madhigachati is very peaceful. No material desires, no pushing and pullings, and no false ego, and is very peaceful. This sadhana bhakti, as it is practiced step by step, as Lord Krishna has instructed here, it will slowly take us to this stage. And this is towards Nishta, where the modes hit us, but we are not too agitated. We will go on with less disturbance, less agitation. That is Nishta. It can vary from person to person, how steady a devotee can come to that stage of bhakti, how sooner a person can get steady in bhakti. Depends on many factors individually, but that is when the intelligence, when the anchoring to sadhu, shastra and guru increases inside, as much as we increase our anchor and attachment to inside, as we have heard, then we will have the strength to bear any modes that are hitting us. And then we will have the necessary detachment for outside. So that's the qualities. And destination is Esha Brahmistiti Partha Nainam Prapya Vimuhyati. This Brahma Nirvanam Rachati. Brahma Nirvanam is the deathless state. For us, it is entering into the spiritual realm. The common usage is going back to Godhead, entering to spiritual realm. So, final destination. This is the way back to Godhead, to the spiritual realm. Ultimately, finally, as we practice this sadhana bhakti like this, gradually, as our internal attachment to the transcendental anchor, spiritual anchor, nama, instruction and seva increases. Slowly we get to Nishta, and finally we enter into the gradually, not finally actually, gradually we enter into the spiritual realm. It's a process. That's all, dear devotees. Yeah. So we will wind down and let's see what we have heard today. In the second chapter, right? So what is Nishkama Karma Yoga? Those points, right? What is the principle or purpose? That is to, as an offering to the Lord. And second one is single pointed focus. How to do? Yeah, Nishkama Karma Yoga. Principle we have heard. And what is Nishkama Karma Yoga? Nishkama Karma Yoga is this. One is to have single pointed focus and not to get distracted. And our right is only on the work or duty. Stay focused on the service. And not to get caught up in the result, network of result. So, no, not bothered by the result. And after that, keep going, keep serving, continue with your duty. That is how we do the Nishkama Karma Yoga. Why to do it? The two reasons that are given here is we get out of the sinful reactions, we get out of the life and cycle, birth and death cycle. And what is our internal disposition? Sthita Prajna. And in Sthita Prajna, what are the symptoms? Symptoms is they are attached, they are anchored in self-realization, so they don't have any material desires. Okay, symptoms. And then how do they sit? In other words, how do they restrain their senses? There we heard about like the turtle withdraws the limbs, then we withdraw our senses, including the mind, from anything that is not favorable to bhakti. And there, Lord Krishna explains how higher taste, relishing the higher taste within, will give us the strength and detachment needed to get over the lower taste. That's regarding withdrawing the senses or self-control or sense control. How do we, and in that context, if we don't do the sense control, what happens? Especially the mind control, the whole fall down cascade. The power of the thought, that we have seen. So if the contemplation is on somebody else or something else other than Krishna, then gradually we will be dragged to the modes. But if the contemplation is on Krishna, gradually we will be taken to Krishna. That we have heard. And now that the senses are controlled, how can they be engaged? There we heard about the regulative principles, and all those regulative principles and the do's of bhakti. They take us towards Krishna. So sadhana bhakti attracts mercy. And because of that mercy, our distress is mitigated and we become more peaceful and our intelligence gets steadier. Right? So that's the sadhana bhakti and the mercy that we get. Then, yeah, does anybody need to, is it required for anybody to take up this practice of bhakti to connect to Krishna? And there Lord Krishna says, if your intelligence is not on me, how can your mind come to me? If your mind is not on me, where is the peace? If there is no peace, where is the happiness? So direct your intelligence and mind on me so you can be peaceful and happy. It's not the other way. Once I become peaceful, once I'm happy, I'll start bhakti. No, it's not like that. or this, I'm not peaceful and I'm not happy, and that is why I'm unable to do bhakti. It doesn't work that way. We will never be peaceful. We will never be happy without going towards Krishna. We continue to go towards Krishna, only then we will become peaceful and happy. Yeah. So our focus is not to see how to be peaceful and how to be happy. As we go towards Krishna, the peace and happiness will come. Then finally, how a devotee will be there in that stage of Nishta, unagitated. Though the modes come and hit the devotee in the stage of Nishta, they are not much agitated. So in this way, the qualities, we heard about the qualities, that there is no sense enjoyment and there is no false ego. Sashanti Madhigachati, always peaceful within with that anchor inside. And the destination is Brahma Nirvana, ultimately to the spiritual realm. That's all, dear devotees. Thank you all so much. 8:20. Not too bad. That's all from my side. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. Now, yes,